Hey everybody, welcome to the Revolution Podcast with Smitty and D. I'm Smitty, you got D over there on the ones and twos. Right off the bat, we want to make sure that everybody knows that we are just a fan cast of the Revolution. We are in no way connected or sponsored or affiliated with NBC or the Revolution. We are purely just fans and enjoy the show.
Yes, and there are many other shows out there like us.
But we're the best.
Yes, we are the OG. We have the most hits on YouTube.
Woo woo!
So definitely check us out. Obviously, if you're hearing our voices, you have checked us out.
Hopefully, yeah.
But if you guys like Revolution and you know other people like Revolution, then send them our way.
And as always, spoiler alerts ahead. We will be talking about the episode, so if you have not watched it, you may not want to listen to this just yet. And we're going to do a recap of the first episode. So if you haven't watched that, first of all, you really should have.
Yes.
Second of all, wait till you watch it, and then we'll go over. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with a little talk about what we saw last week. And if anybody writes in emails or comments, we'll talk about those.
Yes.
And then we'll go into the review for episode 2.
Speaking of which, if you guys want to comment on our show or if you want to comment on the Revolution show, we have an email address set up for you that you can send in comments or questions or whatever. It's revolutionpodcast@yahoo.com.
revolutionpodcast@yahoo.com. Very easy to remember if you like the show. Mm-hmm. All right, so simple enough. We'll go into just talking about the first episode, which we really enjoyed. Do we have any comments or concerns about that? I know you said you read some on some comment reviews.
I read on a board that people were having a few criticisms. The two biggest criticisms that I was reading. Well, the first one was everybody assumes that the clothes are too new, or everybody is having complaints of the clothes not looking grungy enough.
Yeah, that's what that's the one complaint that I had read or had heard around was that everybody was noticing, and I didn't really notice it in the first go, but now watching the second episode, I noticed it a little more.
Yes,
but yeah, a lot of people's clothes are a little too new. Not that they haven't been used, but I'm talking about like they look like they're straight up off the Nordstrom rack.
Right.
Like they're still very vibrant blues and vibrant reds. And I'll give them that. We're like, even if I did wash it, I would think it would have faded a little bit.
Sure.
But I'll give them that one issue. I didn't even notice it in the first episode, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. After people commented on it, I later looked and went, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
But I definitely, in my opinion, I'm thinking to more of like, this is kind of a nitpicky critique.
I mean, for sure.
Look at the story writing, look at the effects, look at how the actors' performances are. Why are you?
Well, let's not look too deep into that because there's some complaints on that too.
It does seem like there's been a lot of complaints. So who knows?
Going on to just sticking with the clothes. I know it's already annoying people, but one little instinct too is like, all right, yeah, we may not have electricity for normal washing machines, but why couldn't we like hook up a bicycle with a belt and basically still do the same washing?
Yeah, I could understand that they're not pressed and dry cleaned, but who's to say they didn't just go down to the creek and wash their clothes?
Well, beating clothes in the creek, I could see that ruining your clothes in about like 4 or 5 washes. They're done. All right, but at least you can still use the washing machine. You just don't have so you can still. I'm thinking maybe I could be a complete idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to deny that by any means. But that's what I was thinking. But like you said, some of the acting was a little criticized as well.
Sure.
Where some people were, I heard two in particular was Nate, who is the gentleman who saved Charlie a number of times already.
Yeah, his name is J.D. Pardo. That's the actor's name.
So Nate, it is J.D. Pardo. I didn't think he did that great, and neither did I. Charlie, what was her name? What's her actual?
The main lead.
Yeah, the main lead.
Her name is let's see.
Charlie and Danny, the two.
Tracy Spadenkos.
If you really want to know their names, go check them out on IMDb. I know there's character names. That's what I know. So Charlie and Danny, to me, so far have been the Charlie and Danny have been the kind of the weak links as far as acting goes. But
right.
I'm basing that on the first episode. I thought the second episode they built up a little bit. I think they're getting a little more comfortable with who they are.
Sure. I mean, I do think that you're getting a good performance out of the big protagonist, or I mean the antagonist, the
Sebastian.
Yeah, him as well as Tom Neville.
Neville, the General Neville.
That character is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that actor. Obviously, he just got an Emmy nod for Breaking Bad. So I mean, he's not doing anything wrong.
Right. So he's definitely got a resume behind him.
Yeah. So far, I like him.
You had another critique that you said you read online.
Yeah, I read online again. Also on this forum, NBC has a community forum for Revolution. So if you guys want to ever go on that, and you can, obviously voice your opinion or see what they're talking about the show. One other guy kind of struck me as like, I'm going to bring this up to Smitty, because he talked about, well, this is totally bogus. This whole premise is piece of shit, because in real life, if people did have an electricity, leave the planet or whatever, there would be no humans living, because our brains are ran off of electrical impulses as well. So there would be no electricity in our brains.
That is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But here's my one question, and I'm everybody who listens to the show, Smitty and D show, knows I am no scholar, so I could be 100% wrong.
Right.
But do EMPs kill people?
I don't believe so.
I never thought they did. I thought they were just an electrical field. I know we have electricity in us. I know there's synapses going off.
Right.
But I thought it wasn't deep enough to hit us. Could be wrong. Yeah. And then on a second thing was, if that was the case, then why haven't more people died from EMPs going off?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like before this actually happened.
Yeah.
Because obviously there was EMPs in this world before.
Now we're
Revolution
assuming it's EMP too. So like, what if like some power grid just got attacked? Like the main power, like how it connects to everybody else? I don't know.
Right.
But somehow
or a huge
virus.
Yeah, every power plant got just systematically hit at the same time.
Right. Or what if it's a solar flare?
Right.
So that took out the electricity, but it didn't take us out because solar flare didn't. I don't know. It's all these things that maybe technically he's right.
Yeah, he brings up a good point, but on the other hand, it's like, shut up, nerd.
Well, maybe we're better insulated with our skin or something.
Right.
Than a car.
It's a good, we have good conductors in our.
Yeah, who knows?
But
we'll just tell him to shut up and go with the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost like maybe it's just a bigger tell, because he looked a little too into it, of now we know it's something, man-made, or it's caused by something that wasn't, something natural, because it didn't kill the humans. No, it just turned off all of the machines.
Yeah.
So maybe it has nothing to do with electricity in the sense of
EMP thing, but something else.
Right. Something completely different. Maybe it's aliens. Who knows? You
Yeah.
don't know.
We're going to find out. That's the whole mystery.
And that's what I like about the show so far, is that they haven't really delved into, right away we're going to tell you exactly how the electricity turned off. No, it's going to take a few episodes for you to go, oh, that's how it is. I mean, I wouldn't want to know after the second episode, how they did it.
Yeah, it's definitely. You don't want to reveal too much. They already revealed something kind of big in the second episode that I thought was a little too early for that reveal.
I mean, they're already revealing in the first episode that the electricity didn't just go out because there's these magical talismans or power pendants that create energy or whatever. And you're like, how does that happen?
Right.
Is that like a reverse EMP where it just suddenly has this electricity aura about it?
It's an iPhone hotspot.
Yeah. Do you think that they actually have that, as merchandise? Do you think if this show takes off, they'll
a power pendant? Oh hell yeah!
They'll sell them out.
That shit was probably made before the show was created. We are gonna sell so many of these.
There's
I want one
in the NBC warehouse. There's millions of them.
Because you know they're gonna sell them as little USB.
Well, that's what they are. Yeah. Little thumb drives.
Yeah, thumb drive there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, why not? I would wear one.
Why not? All right. Well, I guess you about ready to move on to the recap?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna move right on to Revolution episode 2, which is called Chained Heat.
Yes.
All right. And it starts off with a flashback 1 week before after the blackout. Ben and Charlie are getting packed to leave and Rachel's talking to Charlie, telling her that she has to really watch out for Danny and never let go of his hand. Mm-hmm. And she's got to take responsibility over him. Right after that, they're walking through an abandoned city where she's asking, hey, I smell smoke and there's no fire trucks anymore, darling. Just ignore that stench.
Right.
Daddy, I smell smoke.
There might be a fire nearby.
I don't hear any sirens.
There's no more fire trucks, sweetheart.
I thought that was pretty crazy, just showing how quickly things went downhill. I mean, that place was already like a mob house.
Yeah, like a few days later, and suddenly it's the town is
It's fire and brimstone, man.
Yeah.
It's like hell's raining fire and cars are overturned.
That's what I mean. That's one kind of
the
weird.
nature's already overtaken the building.
I do want to know, like, would that really happen after 3 days? You know, if the electricity really turned off for 3 days, would this world just go to shit?
Is electricity the only thing stopping you?
what
Like,
I'm saying.
I have locks on my door still.
Yeah, and
My gun still works. That's not an electrical charge.
yeah, the Bill of Rights is still kind of
Yeah, at least in the first week, you
not
think it'd
written.
still be going. But yeah, that
Yeah.
seemed a little bit much. But then they jump to 15 years after the blackout.
right.
Charlie and Maggie and Aaron are all waiting for Miles, who happens to be in a sword fight. They don't really notice it right away,
Yes.
but he's off on a sword fight with a Monroe bounty hunter. Mm-hmm. And that guy is a bit actor I've seen in a ton of things.
In a
He's
lot
good.
of stuff. Yes.
But obviously Miles ends up kicking some ass and winning that fight. And they end up. Miles is going to try and kill the bounty hunter, but
Yes.
Charlie talks him into saving his life, and they end up tying him away or dragging him and tying him up in a boxcar.
Yes.
So right off the bat, like in this dog eat dog world, Charlie is kind of naive. Now, I'm not saying you should straight up, hey, you know what? Fuck this guy. Let's just stab him in the neck. But at the same time, you're like, that's the second guy now
Yes.
that's been following you.
Yeah.
All right? And they're not hurting you, Charlie. They're going after the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they seem, Charlie's is invincible at this time.
It seems like she is kind of a dual role where she's very empathetic and nice and wanting to, provide mercy to people. But then on the other hand, she's willing to kill people if necessary as well.
Spoiler alert, we haven't gotten there yet. As of this point in time, she's still innocent.
Right. We can edit that out.
If anybody's listening to this, they better have seen it already. I already warned them. They know what's coming.
This whole show is a spoiler.
Yeah. All right, so then we fly over to Pontiac, Illinois.
Yes.
Where Miles is off on his own, and the rest end up staying at this bazaar type mall type
Yeah, it's like a
feature.
small town kind of made up almost like a farmer's market.
Yeah, there you go. Farmer's market is a good way to put it. It's had that very busy merchandise exchanging hands type feel going on.
Yeah, it felt like Agrabah.
There you go.
Aladdin.
Exactly. And Miles is there looking for Nora Clayton.
Yes.
And it really feels right there is when he's looking for Nora Clayton, but then the bounty hunter shows up, the one that they tied up, which is like just the scene before. So you're like, man, how shitty are you at tying knots?
Yeah, she didn't go through the Eagle
I'm like,
Scouts.
you guys, he didn't even have to like run. He was here before you. You guys are fucking, you tie shitty knots and you walk really slow. What the hell's wrong with these guys? But,
Yeah.
And then it was kind of crazy
he's just
too.
that good.
Hey, he's a bounty hunter. He's fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Then he shows up and they do the whole, hey, Miles. And then he does the slow turnaround, like the whole bar clears out Old West style.
Yeah, there was people even that left the tables.
Yeah.
They're like, uh-oh, I smell trouble.
Well, golly, let me drink my sarsaparilla and get the hell out of here. That's totally the vibe that I got from that scene.
There needed to be saloon doors with like a little...
Yeah. And you just hear the clink, clink, ching, clink, clink, ching.
Yeah. It is weird that nobody is riding horses as much. You would think that there'd be more horse...
You know, yeah, we only saw just Captain Neville so far on a horse. But that's a good point.
Where did all the horses go?
You would think that would go back to being a pretty useful item.
Right, like the horse would now be the...
Back to being a god.
Exactly. Nobody really uses them.
Charlie and Maggie are end up being used as hostages. So the bounty hunter's henchmen end up holding up Charlie and Maggie as hostages, and the bait works out against Miles. So the bounty hunters ends up taking Miles away. So basically they threaten to kill Maggie and Charlie. He's all, I don't know who they are. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll just kill them then. Ah, fuck it, you win. You caught my bluff.
Yeah. I always love that move in TV where, I don't know them. Okay.
Yeah, sure, then you won't care about this, right?
Yeah, and that's always like the, wait, stop. Like, don't you know that never works? Like, that type of, like, I don't know him, kill him.
Well, when's the movie going to come out that goes, Oh, no, you say you didn't know him. It's too late now. Stab, stab.
Yeah.
You should have told me you knew him before.
Mm-hmm. And even if you did say, like, no, don't do that. I know them. They could still just go, oh, you know him? And stab him just as easily.
It's so true. All right, so they end up taking Miles away, and then we go to the next scene, which is where Miles ends up fights for his freedom, fights himself free from these guys, and ends up choking out the bounty hunter, and he gets the info on where Nora is.
Yeah, he totally snaps the neck.
I was going to say, well, he was sitting there, which, by the way, Nora might be in Fort Chatworth, in case you guys were wondering. Miles, he's confrontating, like, he ends up snapping the guy's neck, but that's where he was, like, I think he did it before he noticed Charlie was, like, standing right there, because she definitely gave him the, you didn't have to do that face.
Yeah. We could have just tied him up and have him get to us later.
Yeah. He would have just killed us 2 days from now. We had 2 days.
Is Nora here or not? No. Where is she?
She's probably dead by now. She got arrested for stealing militia gold. They put her in some work camp south of here. In Fort Chatsworth, I think.
I think that's the thing with Charlie versus Miles, is that there needs to be that conflict of, no, I'm a stone cold killer, and she needs to be the, no, don't.
It's the good cop, bad cop, where, like, one guy, they both are after the same thing, but one's a little grittier at it, and one's more innocent and naive at it.
It's the, realistic versus,
optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we move to the next scene from there, where we see Captain Tom Neville. He's riding, and here they're riding up on, and they hear a gunshot. All right, and so they go to the house, or the nearest house that they think it is, and they talk to the owner, and they see a dead deer in the front yard, which by all means did look fucking tasty.
Yeah,
I would eat that shit.
I would.
Right now.
Let's cook up some venison.
Let's have some venison right now. But while they're looking at the deer, Tom Neville notices that looks like some buckshot. Mm-hmm. And in this day, 15 years after the shit happened, guns are illegal. You're not allowed to have guns, which is now talk about some Nazi shit. What Republican allowed themselves to give up guns?
Yeah, exactly. This would be the only times where you would need guns.
Yeah.
In a militia type of setting.
Yeah, this is the opportune time to actually be armed, and now you gave up all your guns, dumb.
Yeah.
But so they ask him about the buckshot and his thing, and the guy says he doesn't know anything.
Obviously.
But they prove wrong. He brings out the gun and gives it to him. They were about to attack his house, all right, we're going to search your house because we don't trust you. He was like, I gave you my gun. Yeah, because you're so trustworthy, because you were just which I have to agree with Neville on this one. Like, yeah, because you're a beacon of trust, because you just had this gun behind your door. You told us no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they advance on him, and that guy ends up shooting one of their soldiers.
Yeah, there's a gunfight that ensues.
Yeah, so the guy one of the soldiers gets shot in the gut, and then they end up killing that guy as well, who shot him. But while they raided the house, they found an American flag, and Neville has it burned. Yeah. So I guess like the American flag, like there is no America anymore.
Yeah, they're rebels, and if you're trying to be a part of the old United States, you're suddenly an enemy of the Moreau militia. Or whatever.
Like no matter what, like if you're American or anything, you're done. Mm-hmm. You're an outcast now.
Yeah, it's pretty much the new Confederate flag.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Just a little fun fact for that scene is we did find out Captain Tom Neville has a wife named Julia. So he does have a weakness somewhere along the lines that I'm sure is going to be exploited.
Some chick actually saw that guy naked, and I'm with that guy.
That plus they said, I think it was the first episode where we find out he was an insurance agent before. So like somebody married that asshole?
Yeah, somebody wanted to marry an insurance salesman.
But all right, so moving on to the next scene, we see we're in a tent, like the Confederate type tent, the whole Civil War, Revolutionary War style, where a guy is getting tortured. He's getting cut in the cheek with the razor blade.
Yes, it's like a straight razor.
Yeah, and then that's where General Monroe walks in.
Yeah.
And he stops him, trying to play the good guy, saying, this is not how we treat motherfuckers. Oh, wait, this is supposed to be a PG show. Sorry. This is not how we treat our soldiers. So he comes in and he's asking the man basically where the rest of the rebels are.
Right.
Where are the rest of your rebel bastards?
Yeah, it's like a
so
torture
far for the
scene.
PG, I am failing. In 2 lines. See, I'm terrible.
Bastards in the Bible, so it's all good.
All right, cool. So he's looking for the rest of the rebels, and the man basically says, that the people may be scared of you, but I ain't scared of you. I ain't telling you nothing.
Tries to tough talk him.
Yeah. So he ends up getting stabbed in the gut. That's how Monroe doesn't want to torture people. He just straight up kills them. So I guess that's a little bit better.
It's mercy.
Yeah, it's a little merciful. Now, I have to admit that I thought Monroe, as far as a villain so far, he's good. He has that cool, calm, but like creepy confidence in himself that comes across very like psychotic. Comes across very Scarface-ish, where you're like, this guy could snap at any moment.
Yeah, you could definitely tell why he rose up to the top.
Oh yeah, he has a presence about him. I thought that was interesting, and just the fact that that now we definitely know that there is a Monroe versus Rebels big thing going on.
Yeah,
that's a big underlying fight.
And I could understand that. He's trying to gain power, but also
take away your rights too. I mean, like it's only 15 years away from half the country should still feel like, hey man, we have inalienable rights.
Yep.
You're taking that shit away. So there's still got to. I would imagine that the faction of rebels would be pretty big.
You would assume, unless they just started mowing down everybody and just killing everybody that stood in their way or said, you're not with us.
Then we move on to the next scene. Charlie, Aaron, Maggie, and Miles. They're all hanging out by a campfire. I think it was Aaron who finds Charlie's iPhone. Or not Charlie's, Maggie's iPhone.
Yes.
And he's like, what the fuck would you keep? What? Why the heck would you keep this around? This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
This needs electricity, and I don't know if you noticed, but we don't have any. So at that same campfire, Miles decides that he's going to leave them, go off on his own, and meet Nora by himself because he's thinking the group is just too tough. It's safer if he goes by himself. And they plan on meeting back at Lowell later on. And I bet we find out then is that Nora is an explosives expert, so that's why he's really after her because she can blow some shit up.
He was saying something like, in order to save Danny, we need this chick.
What are you doing?
I'm learning my lesson. I'll meet you in 2 weeks. Main Street in Lowell, Indiana. You got that?
No, wait, you're leaving?
I gotta go get Nora. We need her.
Who is this woman, anyway?
She's really good at blowing stuff up, and we can't get Danny back without her, trust me.
Miles, please, let us come with you.
Hey, you dragged me out here. Lowell, Indiana, 2 weeks.
Now, do you ever think it's a good idea to split up?
In certain situations, if you want to cover more ground or if you were looking for somebody or whatever, yeah, okay, I guess spread out.
Yeah.
But if you want to try to defend something or try to stick together because of a safety element, I could definitely understand being advantageous.
I get Miles' idea of because obviously we watched him fight and he's experienced, he can take care of himself.
Sure.
And you look at Aaron and Maggie and even Charlie. I mean, they're not experienced in the fight, and Aaron especially. I don't think he's going to be running anywhere.
Charlie knows how to hunt, but she doesn't know how to kill people.
Exactly. So I'm kind of with him on this. Where I'm thinking it'd probably be safer it's easier for one person to sneak in and find somebody than for 4 people to sneak in.
Totally, and it's a better badass move. Too.
It's definitely a better badass move. Plus, I thought it made some sense. I definitely went with that one. So the very next scene is the next morning, and Maggie wakes up and Charlie's gone.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And she leaves a note saying that I got to go after my Uncle Miles because I'm a crazy girl and I don't want to listen to authority.
Yeah, everything that they tell me, I got to do the opposite.
Yeah. So right then that's when we went to a commercial with the dun 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 moment. When we come back and Charlie is by herself, but you could tell she's walking through a forest, but you could tell she notices something, something's not right, and she starts to kind of get away a little quick, and she slides down this ravine where she ends up falling and hurting her ankle. And then that's when we find out that Nate has been following her, and he tries to help her up, and she does a little sneaky move and handcuffs him to a pipe in the ravine.
Yes.
And she's asking him why he's following her, and he is saying that he's looking for Miles, and we find out too that he is also being manipulative because his name isn't even Nate. We don't know what his real name is, but he tells her, "My name's not Nate."
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, Charlie. Really, I'm impressed.
Don't be. You're stomping around like an elephant back there. Why are you following me?
I'm following your uncle, same as you. Those are the orders. Bring him back alive.
So you're militia. You used me to flush him out. You're a son of a bitch.
So you're just gonna leave me like this?
Yeah. You're such a crack soldier. You can figure a way out. Is your name even Nate?
No. I've got orders.
But then why'd you save me?
Now, right there, first of all, the first episode, you should have told everybody he was there. Now, is she going to... I don't think she even tells anybody that he's stuck over there.
Or that he was following her.
They need to take care of that guy, because even if he doesn't want to hurt her, he's bad for the group.
Yeah. She keeps thinking that there's like some sort of like sliver of good in this dude for some reason, but he's never given her any like reason to think that, except for saving her that one time.
Except for not killing her, but that's kind of minor. But no, yeah, he did save her that one time, so I'm like, I get the leeway where like I don't want to necessarily kill this guy outright.
Right.
But at the same time, like I would definitely be, as soon as I saw Miles, all right, that motherfucker Nate's behind me. We need to go back and talk to him and interrogate him for some info. Like, what the hell? Why are you guys looking for Nate so bad?
Yeah.
Well, Miles so bad, I mean, but crazy. So, did you have anything else on that one?
No.
All right, so the next scene we have is Maggie, who is acting real frantic. And Aaron tries to calm her down, and we find out that she is upset because she has that iPhone, and that iPhone is her only access to her kids because she has all of her photos on that iPhone, and she can't see any of them.
But she needs
to keep it closed. Hopefully, electricity will come back somewhere, and I'll be able to see my kids again.
Right.
Now, that is kind of fucked up and sad. I'm like, I kind of, like, as a person who does the iPhone picture thing or, like, just the cell phone thing where, like, I keep most of my stuff is digital.
Obviously.
That would be kind of rough. Where, like, I have nothing as far as, like, pictures and memories of those type of things gone. That would be kind of rough.
I want to know, like, if the electricity does come back, is there going to be any iPhone chargers around? Because that would kind of suck, is that if everything goes back to normal, but there's no more chargers, so you still can't use it, or you still can't, like, get my pictures.
Well, you got to imagine, like, okay, the first week or first month even, people are probably raiding the shit out of all those stores.
Right,
so, yeah, they probably take all that kind of stuff and then, like, find out later on it's useless. Power doesn't come back, whatever. So you got to think there's probably just some ghetto warehouses somewhere that are just filled with that shit.
Yeah, some old, Best Buys.
Yeah, but you go to Best Buy and they got nothing. That would suck even worse, man.
But now we also set up more of a backstory for Maggie, because now we're intrigued of how'd she lose her kids?
Yeah, how'd she lose her kids? And we want to know more about her. Like, how did she end up getting with Ben and being involved with Charlie's life?
How does she get with Ben?
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. All right, so moving on to the next scene, we have Captain Neville who's talking to the shot soldier, and we see the real humanitarian side to Captain Neville. He's telling the kid, basically, at this point, with what we can do is you are going to die. There's nothing we can do about that right now. You can make it slow and painful, or you can drink this little concoction I got, and that shit will kill you kind of quick. But so obviously the kid takes the drink, because who wants to no, I'll take the 8 hours of pain, thank you.
Right.
So the kid drinks it, but Neville is being real sweet, talking about, like, hey, the other side, you're not going to have any stress. Yeah. Life's going to be good. You're going to a good place, and things are going to be better. And right. So it's like you see that there is still some humanity to this Neville guy. Like, he may be a bad guy, like, as far as following his orders and being under the Monroe leadership.
Yeah.
But he does have a hidden gem. Where
you're going, you'll be warm and rested and fed. You'll be with your family. And the best part, you'll bask in the brightest, most beautiful light.
He is a villain with a heart of gold.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to kill you just for the fun of it. He'll do it if he has to, but hopefully, like, I think we're seeing foreshadowing in that he has that slight humanitarian side where he's not going to do something. At some point, he's going to be asked to do something major, and he's going to definitely be on a moral conundrum.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a choice, and you would assume the way his character is kind of leading into is that he might, choose sympathy or
Let's hope
choose,
so.
you know, some compassion instead of being this hardcore, like, I'm just going to
But then
do
again,
my job.
But then again, he is like really quick and steady with that handgun.
It's true.
Like he doesn't seem to be hesitant about like, all right, you pulled the gun out. Well, fuck you, dead,
Yeah.
dead. And he seems very, very easy with that. So that can we'll see what happens with that story. But okay, we'll move on to the next scene. We see Charlie is walking and sees a basketball, which kind of like sends her into a flashback.
Yes.
Right, where we see Charlie and her mom, and Charlie is chasing a basketball down the street, and it gets caught by a stranger who ends up grabbing Charlie and threatening to hurt her if they don't give him all their food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just some guy that's obviously looking for food. He's probably starving.
Yeah,
this
so-
is right after
well, yeah.
the blackout. So.
Obviously, things are tense, and he needs it. He's starving or whatever, but he threatens them with Charlie, and that's where we cut out. So that we're just getting these little clips of flashbacks. All right, so then we move back to Miles. He finds Charlie, and she explains that she has to help him because Danny is really all she has, and she raised him. She feels a huge responsibility over his welfare.
She was the surrogate mother after
Rachel
dies.
Yes. So that was another, like, obviously we know they're brother and sister, but now we know like they're even more than that. It's almost a motherly son like bond. It's I raised you. I know you're my brother, but still.
I wiped your butt.
Yeah. Then we go over to and we see Aaron and Maggie, and they're hanging out at the they're hanging out I think by the campfire, and Aaron is telling Maggie about the power pendant. He kind of reveals that Grace Beaumont, who Aaron is supposed to get the pendant to.
Yes.
And I believe I'm pretty sure that Grace is the black woman from the end of episode 1 that we see typing on the computer to somebody.
Yes.
So we know that Aaron knows who he's supposed to be getting to. So there's like this nice underlying like underground or like a rebellion type thing going on. Like we got to get this little emblem. This could help. Type
it's
thing.
almost like an underground railroad type of thing.
Yeah, and so we know that more than one person has these power pendants. So it's definitely like a network of people.
So we take this to this Grace woman, and she does what with it?
I don't know. Ben just said she knew something about the power.
This doesn't make any sense.
But that's the thing. I think it actually might.
How?
The blackout, that doesn't make any sense. Totally cornholed the laws of nature, and it shouldn't be permanent. We should be able to fix this, but for some reason we just can't. But if it were man-made...
Man-made? Why would someone do something like that?
Listen, if I'm right, then this is good news. This is the best news.
How?
Because if it's man-made, then maybe we can fix it.
It's got to be man-made.
It has to be.
I mean, even in the first episode, you see the way it goes down. Like, I'm thinking, and this is just obviously my novice side, if it was like a solar flare or something of that sort, it would have pretty much done all at once.
Yes.
Where in this one, you can you can see that there's an epicenter to where it goes out from.
Yes.
Like, shit happened here, and everybody got fucked over from it.
Yeah, and it just waved out. It was like you threw a stone in a puddle, and it just, the ripple effect.
What if it's something like the Hadron Collider?
Oh, right.
Well, like they slammed two atoms together. We're like, yeah, we can still have electricity. This just basically fried the system. We have to re-put out all the wires, so it's going to take forever and a day. But electricity is not something that we can't ever have again.
That is a cool idea. Maybe
we'll see where that one goes. But that's what he leaves it open that it's man-made, so it's something that we did. All right, so we move on to the next scene where Captain Neville is burying the soldier who passed away, and he's saying a prayer. And while he's saying a prayer, Danny snickers at him, and Neville tells him that he's doing what he has to. Danny basically tells him that he thinks that Neville likes to be bad, and Neville says, "Oh yeah, let me choke the shit out of you to prove that you're right, maybe."
Yeah, let me prove to you that you are correct.
Yes. Yeah, and I have to say, like, Danny may have hit on a point there where, okay, Neville may not be a bad guy, but he's been doing the bad thing for so long that it's almost too easy for him to do it now.
Yeah, there's no more remorse, or there's no more second guessing things and going, should I really? No, I'm just doing it.
Yeah, just do it because that's what we gotta do.
Yeah, he's just set on this. I'm just taking orders. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I can see it happening.
Well, you always see that in any type of like, strong military where, that guy is no joke because he has to do, he's always the person that has to deal with the tough decisions.
Yeah.
And that probably gets to you after a while. If
you
always
just become cold. You're like,
yeah,
there's no heart. I don't want to put my heart into it because that makes it hard.
Mm-hmm,
if I just take myself out of it and just say, kill that guy, and don't think about it, it's easier.
Yeah, I mean, every job is kind of like that. When you're dealing with hard decisions, you just get numb to it eventually.
I gotta imagine, but yeah, that would be a tough thing to get used to.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to
life,
murdering people, killing people. Yeah.
All right, so we move on to the next scene where Miles and Charlie see the soldiers towing a chopper through the woods or through the forest, and that's where they see Nora is actually one of the, I guess you would call them almost slaves.
Yeah, they're slaves. They're imprisoned for sure.
She's like a slave on the line, and the guy in front of her falls to his knees, so the soldier just shoots him, straight out shoots him. Like, you're not going to work? Dock that drink a day's pay for napping on the job.
No kidding, yeah, straight up blazing saddles. and these people were basically just people that didn't pay their taxes, which is weird because you don't have a government, but you still have taxes. Well, so taxes are beyond governments.
I don't think taxes will ever end because whoever's in charge, you got to pay them to stay safe.
Right. It's the mob mentality type of
like government.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to Miles comes up to Nora at night, in the middle of the night, and helps her escape. But Nora's like, "God damn it, don't help me." She's trying to stop him, and she said that she is planning on stealing the sniper rifle.
Yeah, she infiltrated the slave camp on purpose because she wanted to steal a sniper rifle that the warden had.
Yeah, she's definitely a badass herself.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see Nora. We find out that Nora owes Miles for something because Miles was basically talked her into it because he says, "You owe me, and you know what for." We don't know what that owe him for is yet. I'm sure we'll find out. It's got to be something pretty big, pretty major.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to. That's going to be an interesting thing to find out what that is. And she agrees to help because obviously that was big enough to be like, God damn it, you're right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So she agrees to help, but she wants to get the rifle first before she leaves and helps them find Danny.
Obviously.
So in the world where guns are illegal, man, the man with a sniper rifle is king.
Definitely.
I mean, you get yourself a nice high enough perch, no one's going to get close enough to you.
And he looked like he was a straight up warden from Cool Hand Luke.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward for
what
him.
the man wants, he gets.
I was wanting that warden to say something like that because he had the hat on, the circle glasses, the big shotgun.
He definitely had the good old boy warden look.
And there was literally a chain gang right next to him. So I'm like, is this a scene from Cool Hand Luke? Are we gonna have an egg eating contest pretty soon? What's going on?
Where's Paul Newman? He's got to be around here somewhere.
He's got some of that dressing, I'm sure.
All right, so then we move to the next scene, which is Nora is making some kind of sweet MacGyver-style gun.
Yeah.
And
she just makes it's straight up like MacGyver. She just takes a barrel and a couple of flints or some sort of, explosive device, and then makes a little like musket that you can hide under your jacket.
Yeah, it did look pretty badass actually. It looked very Assassin's Creed-ish.
Mm-hmm. Slash, Mythbusters.
Now, Charlie says that she will take the gun and shoot the guard to get the rifle, and that was a big argument between Miles. Like, you're a hunter, you're not a killer, you can't do this. And she's like, what? What'd you say? I'm a woman. I can do whatever men can do.
I'm independent.
At least that's what I heard.
Yep. You heard women's suffrage.
Yep. So they end up strapping the gun on her wrist, and so she goes up to the guard shack or whatever you want to call it, and she gets caught, which on purpose. She gets caught, and she tries to say, "Hey, whoa, I'm sorry. I was just out here hunting. I did not mean to stumble across whatever this crazy bullshit you got going on is."
Don't worry, I have slaves back in my camp too.
But before we get to the action there, this is where it got rough for me for writing down, trying to tell the story, because this is where flashback went for 2 seconds, and then it went back to normal.
Flashbacks. present, flashback, present.
Yeah, it was tough. So they went flashback to the guy when she had that basketball and she got taken by the guy like 5 days after the blackout.
Yes.
And so she's being held hostage, and Ben comes out, her dad, and threatens to shoot the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I'll shoot. Don't do this. I have to shoot you." And then basically his morals or whatever got the best of him, and he's like, "Fuck, I can't do it." So he stops. But then the very next second we see, boom, guy gets shot, and we look over and we see Rachel with the gun in her hand. We're like, oh shit, mom's got cojones.
Yeah, mom is wearing the pants in this relationship.
Yeah, man, that shit was a little nuts.
And
a little unexpected, I'll be honest. I wasn't expecting that.
No. Because, you thought that it was just going to be, a tense moment. He wasn't going to shoot him. And the guy was just going to walk away.
Well, here's what I thought. I thought it was going to be that tense moment. Dad's going to be like, I can't do that. Well, fuck, I need it, and then do it.
And shoot it, yeah.
But I didn't think Mom was going to be like, oh, if you can't do it, I got the balls here.
Right.
Do this. Like, wow, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
especially with you have your daughter in your hand.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Well, I guess that's the thing when you affect your daughter, maybe mothers do feel a little bit more of like the
mother bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw this dude
maybe.
up.
I mean, it's your livelihood. I get it. Then we flash back to the present time, and we see Charlie. She takes the shot at the guard, and she shoots the guy that has the rifle.
Yes.
Right? So she got that guard. She goes after the rifle, and she's in a struggle with another soldier. We see Miles and Nora, and they come in to help out.
Yeah, rescue.
And Nora ends up getting stabbed, which we don't really know how bad that's going to turn out. I mean, she's cut for now. We'll see what happens. Charlie fights with the guy, and then ends up blowing his head off with the damn rifle.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Crazy.
That was sick. Yeah, it was very cool. We definitely find out that Charlie is a bit of a badass herself.
Yeah, when she needs to, she, steps up, just kind of like her mom, where, she has that sympathetic type of demeanor, but when push comes to shove, she, it's the survival of the fittest type thing. She needs to step up and take some people down.
Yeah, man, for sure. And then we move up to next scene is Miles tells Charlie that she did a good job. But she really explains to him about like, hey, I just killed 2 people. I don't know if that's really a good job. Which I guess you see that, all right, she's definitely in that beginning stage where like maybe later on she's going to get a little tougher to having to do shit like that. But right now she's definitely taking each one very hard.
I killed 2 men today. Maybe that's not a big deal for you. Maybe it's another Monday or whatever, but it is to me. We shouldn't have to do this. Things should be... I don't know.
You are very unusual.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not an insult, Charlie.
It would be tough to kill a man.
I wouldn't want to be doing it.
Especially in that type of environment where it's not like, a simple, this guy's trying to rob me and I'm just defending myself.
Right.
No, it's like...
she's actually the aggressor. She's actually the one. I'm going up to you and shooting you before you get a chance to shoot me back. That's a little different.
For a gun.
Yeah. But I got to save my brother. Miles tells Charlie he did the good job. We find out that Nora has a flag tattoo, so she's got to be part of the rebels. And Miles gets pretty mad at her for joining the resistance.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it seems like he's kind of like a Han Solo in a sense, where he's like, I'm not part of the resistance. I obviously don't want to be part of the Empire.
These guys are dicks, but I'm not part of you guys.
Yeah, I don't want to fight. I'm just in it for myself.
And I'll give you that like wholeheartedly. He definitely has a Han Solo edge to him where like he's a badass, he can kill. Yes, Han Solo shot first. I don't care what George Lucas says. And this guy's the shoot first kind of guy. And
totally.
It definitely has that vibe. So maybe that's another reason why I like it, because I am such a Star Wars dork.
I am noticing, now that I think about it, there's a lot of parallels of Star Wars and this show.
Yeah, Aaron is kind of like the Chewie. No, sorry.
But there is like a rebel and like, an empire.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a big battle between good and evil and the forces, and we'll see how that goes. It should be interesting. And we have the Force, which is kind of like power pendants.
Yeah,
so
there
like,
you go.
Who has the power of the Force? All right, so we move on to the next scene, and we go to Grace's house. This is the lady who has the power pendant as well as access to communicate through the IM via computer. She's invaded by a secret guy who comes to the door, and she like She answers the door and she's like, "Oh shit!" She shuts it, slams it, and locks it real quick. Runs upstairs and she sends out a message. We don't really know who she's talking to yet.
Yeah,
but she sends out a message saying Randall is here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so assuming Randall must be somebody really bad.
Yeah, very, and maybe even worse than Tom Neville.
I mean, in Monsters Inc., Randall is a chameleon who's a bad guy, so we never know what this guy could be. Maybe it must maybe it's Steve Buscemi.
He's doing double duty from Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, man, he's gonna play the gangster, and he's gonna play a gangster.
It's a huge stretch, but yeah, it definitely you don't. Randall's persona is not revealed, so you just kind of see his feet, and you don't really know who he is yet, or maybe it's a chick. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. We'll find out. It's still definitely very interesting. And then we come to the very last scene of the show, which is where Sebastian walks into Rachel's room.
Yeah,
we find out that's the big reveal. The bump, bump. Rachel's alive. Charlie's mother is alive.
What?
Yeah, so Sebastian comes in and basically just tells her that Ben is dead. At first, I'm thinking like maybe she's in on it with Sebastian, but once he tells her that Ben is dead, she has the reaction like, "Yeah, you're a dick.
Yeah,
I really hate you."
But maybe she's the one that's pulling the strings. Maybe she's part of the Monroe, and he's just the.
I don't think so because I mean he tells her that she also has her son, and she kind of flips out over that. But then he chokes her and tells her to give him the answers. Mm-hmm, so like if she was really in charge, he is not treating her like it.
It's true.
You know, so I'm thinking that family, Sebastian Madison, he knew that she was part of the family that had access to whatever happened.
Yes.
They don't maybe really know what's going on, but they just know that these people were involved with it, so maybe they can fix it.
Yeah.
That's my assumption, and they're just trying. I don't know what they think the kids can do because the kids were seriously like, what, 4 and 5, 3 and 5 when the shit went down. So, like, they're not going to know anything to do anything about it. Dad and Mom are the only two that could really do anything. Dad and Miles.
I mean, I guess, like, Ben could have, like, told her later, 20 years or 10 years later.
Could have told her 10, 20 years later, but, like, would she even have a concept of, like, all right, sweetheart, you go up to this power grid. Power grid?
Yeah.
You change this fuse. What the fuck's a fuse? Mm-hmm. It would be very difficult to explain to somebody without having all of that there to actually show them, this is what that is. Yeah. And this is how you do that. I mean, it's possible. I mean, they have power pendants, so who knows?
But now here is a big reveal, or you're just wanting to now watch the show more because, how did Rachel get out, or why did she fake her own death?
Why is she separated from the family?
Yeah, why is she not with Charlie?
Yeah.
And why does Sebastian and Rachel still kind of have like a relationship, or why? Like,
I'm assuming it's just to try and get the answers. You know, she was trying to use him probably to get to Ben or Miles.
Right.
But one of my just theories that I was thinking of recently was these power pendants may be more of an answer than we think. Like maybe when like it's almost like one of the twin powers activate. We're like when you have the however many pendants there are actually together, shit works. Everything's fine.
Right.
But as a safety element, maybe like we're being attacked or whatever the case may be. All right, we take these pendants out, and this is a way to secure this area.
Yeah.
Without anybody really knowing what the fuck to do, because there's no like plug-in
switch. It's like a fail-safe. Like, in order to have everything work, we need 12 pendants in this area.
Yeah, like who's to say like maybe like Sebastian and his government or somebody else was almost to our nukes.
Right.
Or like even our president was going crazy and he was going to start nuking everybody.
Yeah.
And so safety, we took out these power pendants, took out the power. You can't do shit to anything.
Yes.
And that was saving our lives. But now we can't tell them that we did it because now we're traitors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that idea. And also, it's like any type of, huge system. You always have multiple keys or multiple facets to turn on or off that system for that fail-safe reason. You need, like with any nuke, you need 2 keys to like turn it on or operate it. So why wouldn't you need, multiple pendants in order to keep
just a guess
from running?
But if any of you guys have... I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's also information on those pendants as well. Because he had like that flash drive that he took that information from the laptop on the first episode.
Oh, that's right. In the very first episode, Ben put...
Yeah, so maybe that's like the information put onto that is...
whatever code you need to get things started.
Energy itself or whatever.
Do you like to play a game?
Exactly.
That'd be awesome. Now, if any of you guys have any comments, concerns, or theories as what is going on in this world, please contact us at 626-SUCK-IT-5. That is 626-782-5485. Leave comments, concerns, any messages you think we could play them right here on the show.
Yes.
If you want to leave emails or is it Revolution Podcast?
Yes.
At yahoo.com or The Revolution?
No, it's just revolutionpodcast.com or revolutionpodcast@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And then if you guys go to our website, which is revolutionpodcast.podbean.com, you can leave comments there. You can obviously download the episodes, subscribe on YouTube or iTunes. You can leave comments on our iTunes page. On iTunes, it's Smitty and D's Revolution Podcast.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Revolution Podcast. Stay tuned. We apologize for this episode coming out late, but we will try to get every new episode right out on Tuesday.
Yes.
From now on. And like I said, please play along. We'd like to hear your side of the story, too.
For sure.
So, all right, you revolutionaries, make sure you check out the SmittyandDShow.com. That's our regular show. Check us out there. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. All right, be good revolutionaries.